Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Yasmin and today I'll be sharing with you guys my hijab story. So yes, I'll be discussing all of the myths and the misconceptions that people have of people that wear the hijab, and also a really great insight into how I started wearing it and my process. I mean, it was a really smooth transition. I didn't really have to deal with a lot of issues, but I thought it'd be really nice. So grab a cup of tea or coffee and let's go for it. So to start off with the story, I thought for some of your watchers that are not Muslim, I will discuss what a hijab is and what it means. So some of you guys may think that it means a scarf or the headscarf that we put on our heads, but actually hijab is an Arabic word and it means a barrier and a separation. Also, another part that you should be very familiar with is that not only do Muslim women wear hijab, so many different women in multiple religions do wear a form of the headscarf. So there's a lot of thinking that gets into it. So let me start from the beginning. Alhamdulillah, I grew up in a family where both my parents were practicing Muslims, and I got to see firsthand my mom wearing the scarf. So in school, I didn't really go through an awkward phase. I was mostly a really introvert, so I read a lot of books, I was really into sports, I was really into my academics. So I didn't really think of having friends. That wasn't really a big priority of mine. And also I wasn't really that person that really wanted to fit in high school and also in junior high. Because I grew up in multiple countries and I was really confident in myself, I didn't believe that like wearing a hijab really limited anything in me. To be honest, I was kind of like the girl that was like friends with like the different friends group. So sometimes when I wanted to talk to someone who was in the popular group, I would go up to them. Or sometimes when I was friends with someone who was like in the so-called techie group, I would go to them. So I didn't really have a set group of like, oh, like these are my hijab friends or these are like my non-hijab friends. I kind of approached the world the way the world approached me. Like they welcomed me, so I welcomed them back. And I was really, at that time, I was just really focused on academics. I was really focused on like sports and extracurricular activities, or how can I volunteer. So I kind of put all my energy into that, and I wasn't really into hijab styles at all. I mean, back then what was really popular was like the square hijabs, and we would wear those square hijabs and we would tie them into a triangle. So you would actually fold them into a triangle and then you would tie them on your head and then put a pin here at the bottom, and then you would have like 2 long layers here, and then you would take one of the layers and just like pin it on your head. And that's all I did for so many years. And in university also I learned more and more about my hijab and how I can fit it into my fashion. Because I grew up with a really fashionable family. I mean, my mom is the most fashionable person I know. She's taught me all about fashion, all about beauty, and I really looked up to her as my role model as a hijabi woman. She really achieved her dreams, she lived her life, she worked, and she didn't really ask anybody to, you know, comment on her opinions. So she was really like a confident go-getter kind of girl, and I really appreciated that. So having a really strong female role model like my mom was really what made me really even those days, like sometimes you have days where you're like, oh, like I have to wear the hijab before I get out of the door. You know, it's that one thing you do before you leave the house. But I always had that role model in the house, like my mom, who never ever judged anything I did. All of those like weird fashions, like I was once like into this whole year of wearing all leopard, all sparkly things, and I would wear like this sparkly hijab that probably looked so bad. But honestly, when you have that self-confidence in you and that self-esteem, and you don't have any person judging in your family, you can do whatever you want, make the mistakes you want, but inshallah, like you come back to who you are. And who I am is I'm a fashionable girl. I mean, I love clothes, I love makeup, I love getting dressed, but I don't think that that makes me, you know, a non-hijabi, if you understand. I'm using the hijab because it's part of my personal identity, but I'm not letting it limit me in any way. And I can say that I have never had any experience that I thought wearing a hijab made me less than my friends or like a co-worker, or maybe getting hired up for a position. I feel like if you are really honest within yourself and you're really confident and you really push and you get yourself out there, there's nothing that can stop you. Personality at the end of the day wins. Trust me, I have been in situations where someone's like, oh, you're a hijabi, right? So you have no personality, you have nothing going for you. And I'm like, no, I mean, I do have my own personality, and you just have to get to know me. So guys, now I'm gonna be discussing the 10 misconceptions that people have of hijabis. So these are like funny questions that I normally get when I'm on the street, when I'm at work, or when I'm just meeting with friends. Sometimes when someone gets to know you really well and they think that like they're your friend or like someone that they can confide in, that's when all these questions come up. And I'm always happy for these questions because that means that people are getting really close to me and they really want answers to these questions. So for all you guys who think that asking a hijabi girl some of these questions are like kind of rude and off-putting, it's not. Just ask the question. So anyways, here goes 10 misconceptions and myths. So my favorite question and the number one most asked question that I always get is, are you bald? So no, I am not bald. I do have hair under my hijab, under all of this headscarf. I do have hair, and girls, even hijabis want to look fabulous. So yes, I do Google tutorials on how to maintain the texture of my hair, and I really take my hair growth and my hair health so seriously, and we are all obsessed with our hair. So yes, I do have hair and I do style on occasions, but can you see my hair? Depends on who you are. If you're a girl and you act really nicely, yes. But if you're a boy, no. Second question is, oh my gosh, do you guys shower in your hijab? And I'm like, no. I don't know how that's possible, but no. When I come home at the end of the day, it is the best time ever because I get to throw away my hijab. So third misconception is that someone in your family or some religion or maybe even like your dad is forcing you to wear the hijab. No, so that doesn't happen. I have never discussed wearing a hijab with my parents ever. It's always been something that I have done and they have seen it and then they haven't commented on it at all. Or if they do, my mom says, oh my gosh, your hijab style is looking amazing or something like that. But it's not something that we discuss. So what we do in our family is that we believe everybody has their own personal space and their space to grow. So fourth question that I get all the time are hijabs and Sikh turbans the same thing? And no, they're not the same thing. So it's two whole different religions. Fifth question that I always get is, are you hot in it? How does it feel under all of these layers? It does get quite hot in the summer, so I won't wear a hijab like this. This is exclusively for Canadian fall and winter. What I normally wear in the summer is I wear a really light chiffon hijab. And actually, if you wear something that covers your head on a really hot day, especially a material that cools you down, it's actually way better for you than just walking out with your head out. That's why you see lots of people wearing hats in the summer because you really need a shade, and hijab does provide the shade. And also in the winter, I get so much warmth out of this. I mean, you can't believe it. It's like an additional scarf. So yeah, you gotta take the good with the bad. So number 6 is, do you wash your hijabs? Yes, I do wash my hijabs, and I wash them in multiple ways. For the ones that I had for the longest time and I really love their texture, and if they're made out of silk or really nice chiffon, I just hand wash them every night when I get home. Or if it's like this hijab where I just got it from a department store and it's a really nice leopard print, but it's a really tough texture like this hijab, then I will definitely pop it in the washer, in the dryer, and then wear it again. So 7th question that I always get is, sees that person there walking down the street. Oh, are you guys sisters? Are you guys cousins? Not every hijabi is related, I'm telling you the truth, guys. Especially because I live in a really small city. In Western Canada, people think that every hijabi is my friend or my cousin, or I must know her from the Islamic Center. I must know who she really is. No. So number 8, the question I always get is, where are you from? Tell me that in the comments. Can you guess where I'm from? So So question number 9 that I get is mostly from Muslim women or women that are now starting to wear the hijab, and it is, how do you deal with all of the looks and the insecurities that come with wearing a hijab? So the best way that I can answer this question is to tell you guys that the looks and the insecurity that you feel, people are too busy looking at their own insecurities and their fears. Chances are a person is always going to be focused on their own insecurities and how they can combat their own. Everybody's fighting their own individual battle, so no one is going to be looking at you in a really interesting way. You could get some comments and some people looking at you, but chances are everybody else is really on their grind day to day. So what I would say is I would really start with self-love and first loving yourself and being confident enough in your own self, and start in really small steps. I mean, you don't have to start wearing a hijab immediately. You can just start wearing modest clothes, and maybe on Fridays, on weekends when you're off from school and from work, just try wearing a hijab in your day-to-day life, like such as going to the grocery store, and see how that makes you feel. And if that makes you feel in a really great way, then continue it. If you're feeling like this is a bit too much, step back and try again. Just because you wear your hijab doesn't mean that you get to not feel beautiful. Modesty also comes with, in Islam, feeling better about yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves people that take care of themselves, that look beautiful, that smell beautiful. So think of hijab not as some drabby thing that you wear, but something that you use in your personal modern day life that really helps to elevate you. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you really love this video, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. I do upload 3 days out of the week, so that's on Tuesday, on Thursday, and then on Sunday. So guys, have a great day. Bye.